Hello, my name is HAPruitt and I am the author of the Anathalian series, and I am also an editor. And this video and this video series is going to be about editing your book. I'm going to explain how to edit a book, all the stages, all the steps. Not all steps are going to be absolutely necessary to edit a book, but all of the steps will be helpful in making your book the best it can be, whether you're traditional publishing or self-publishing. A lot of them will apply to both before you even get your book to the point of sending it to query or sending it to an editor. This will help you self-edit your book to make it the best it can be. If you want to know about my editing services or the 4 types of editing, I have that in a video, and I'll put that video down in the description you can watch. If you're interested in hiring me as an editor, or you just want to know like the basics of the 4 types of editing, then you can watch that video linked in the description. And if you have any questions or if you have suggestions of editing topics, please leave them in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the video for this week. So this is the second video in the How to Edit a Book series, and this is going to be about critique partners. This is not an absolutely necessary step, but this is a very helpful step in editing your book and making it the best it can be. So, what is a critique partner? A critique partner is someone at your level. It's another person who is at the same level of writing as you are. It's like switching a paper in class. In high school, did you ever, your teacher told you to swap papers, with, like swap an essay with someone else, and you read theirs and they read yours, and then you kind of tell each other things you can improve on or mistakes you found? And that's what a critique partner is. It's just swapping papers, swapping books with somebody and being like, hey, I noticed this, and they say, hey, I noticed that. It's not like turning it into your teacher and the expert going over it and telling you, fix this, this is wrong. A critique partner is someone at your level, and so you're gonna have to find somebody at your level. My windows are open, so if you hear loud noises, I'm sorry. A critique partner is not a paid contract. It's usually an author friend, and so if you don't have any author friends, get in the author community while you're working on your book, while you're thinking about your book. Get in the author community on Instagram or Facebook, or there's lots of places. Instagram's the best place that I see the author community really coming and helping each other and working together, and where you can find some really good friends who are going to be at your level and be able to help you out. And you do it for free. This is not a paid contract. It's just a free, like, hey, I need help. Hey, I need help. Let's help each other kind of thing. And so a critique partner, you can swap whole books, or you can just swap chapters, or you can swap short stories. Right now, I'm working on a short story for an anthology, and another author is too that I know, and she's like at my level. She's an editor too. And so she was like, do you want to swap? And I was like, do you want to swap? And we swapped, and we're helping each other right now. It's like that. You just find somebody who's also writing a book. We both had short stories, and so we kind of had the same amount to give each other, and that's important too. You don't want to say, hey, I'm writing a 50 chapter book and you're writing a short story, let's swap. That's not fair. But like, if you're both working on a book with 20 to 30 chapters, that's fair. And it's up to you and the other author or authors. Sometimes there's groups of people who work as critique partners and help each other. It's up to you and them what the critiques consist of, how much you're going to help each other. If you're just kind of looking for overall stuff, or if you're looking for everything. Me and the other editor, we just looked for everything. We gave each other comments, we gave each other proofreading, we gave each other plot hole help, we gave each other everything. Because that's what we do when we edit. We do all kinds of editing. But like, if that's not your level, don't worry about that. Just do what you can. And how often you meet, all the details, it's just up to you guys. There's no like solid structure besides, hey, I need help, you need help, we have kind of the same amount, we're both writers at the same level, let's swap. That's what a critique partner is. And it's in the early stages of writing. And so with our short stories, me and the other author, with our short stories, the early stages of writing a short story is like you finish it and you write it all and you're done completely because it's a short story. But if you're working on a book, maybe you find a critique partner when you're working, you've gotten a couple chapters done and they've got a couple chapters done, and you're like, I'm kind of stuck, I don't know what to do. And they say, well, I kind of want some help too. And you can start trading like one chapter at a time and help each other out go forward. Your book can be done, or it can be just in the process of being done. Either way, you guys can help each other out. And it can help you during drafting or during writing, whatever. Like I said, it's just really a loose concept, but it's basically you're helping each other out and helping each other edit your books as you kind of go along, especially if you're feeling stuck or if you've gotten to the end point of something, whether it be a chapter or the end point of your book or like to the midway point or whatever, and you help each other out. So I hope all that makes sense. If you have more questions or if you have a definition you want to share, put it in the comments below. So the next part, when should I have a critique partner? I've kind of talked about this, but you can do this whenever you want. But it works best while you are still writing or while you are still drafting. This critique partner works best before you get to the point where you say, okay, this is it. This feels like the story is complete. And now I need to send it off to someone professionally editing before you get to that point, way before you get to that point. Like I said, it can even be when you've only got a couple chapters and you're like, oh man, I'm stuck, I need help. This is where your critique partner can come in and help you. And why does it work best while you're still writing or drafting? Those colors sound really loud to me. I don't know if they're loud to you. Okay, because you can bounce ideas off each other. Like I said, if you get stuck and you can start asking each other, like, will this work? Will this work? Me and the other author, we're doing that all the time. She's asking me, does this work? Does this work? Does this work? And I'm like, no, yes, okay, yeah, that's a good idea, but what about this? And she's like, okay, what about that? And let's mix these together. And then she can come up with the best concept she can. And you can ask each other, this or that works. You can point out plot holes or stuff that doesn't work. If you catch plot holes, things that like don't work in the story, like let's say, I can't think of a good example without, like, I edit a lot of books and I don't want to like call anybody out, but like let's say you have somebody go on a vacation in the summer and then in the next chapter it's supposed to be Christmas time. That's a plot hole. In the next chapter it's like 2 days later and it's Christmas time. That's a plot hole. You have to fix that, and you didn't realize it in the plotting because you're like, oh, it'd be fun if it was summer, but they also need to be around winter. That's a plot hole where something is just like, there's no way this works. It's a hole in the story and you have to fix it somehow. And it's really helpful to have somebody else have some outside perspective saying, well, this is how you could fix that. Like, just put in more chapters, or put in like 4 months later they did this, or just do something. Other people can help you because you're so close to your story. You're just going to be like, oh my goodness, this is wrong, this is bad, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And just another person can say, well, what about this? And you can be like, oh, okay. That was a bad example of a plot hole. Anyway, okay, so you can motivate each other to write. It's very motivating when you know that someone else is like waiting on your work, wanting to read it. Like the other author kept telling me, like, I'm so excited to read your story again, because she read it once and then she gave me feedback and I went back and fixed it, and I told her I fixed it. She's like, I'm excited to read it again. And so it made me feel like, oh, like I want to work on it, I want to get it done. And so it's very motivating to have somebody else cheering you on and be excited to read what you wrote and want to know what's going to happen in the story, rather than just like, I don't know what to do, and so I'm just going to put it down and nobody knows about it, so we're just not going to talk about it. It's very motivating to have a critique partner to help you along. Also, to ask questions about random stuff you don't know. When you write things, you're going to run into stuff that you just don't know, and you can try and look it up on the internet, but the internet is not helpful sometimes. And so it's very helpful to have somebody be like, hey, have you ever baked sourdough bread? And then be like, oh yeah. Or hey, have you ever broken your rib? Like, this was with editing, but with somebody, they had a character break their rib. And very ironically, I had broken my rib at the exact time I was editing that part. And so I was able to tell them, this is not how it is. This is how it is. And you just, like, you don't have to be an expert in writing to know what it's like to break a rib, or what it's like to bake bread, or what it's like to go climb a tree. You know, you don't know what is going to be very helpful to another person when writing, because writing is about human experiences. And if the author doesn't have that human experience, you may. And so when you guys have two people coming together, one of you is going to have that human experience, and it can help the other one make their story more realistic in writing it. Another reason why this works best, while critique partners work best while you are writing or drafting, is because they can help with development of the story, and it's easiest to fix developmental problems in the early stages of writing. And so what I mean by that is, like, if you give your book to your editor, if you go through all these stages of editing and give your book to your editor and you have developmental problems at that stage, it's going to be really hard to fix because you're like, okay, this is good, this is set, everything's how it needs to be, I've got everything figured out. And if they come back and say, well, this doesn't work, it's going to be like, oh my goodness, I have to fix this. And if I fix this, I'm going to have to fix that. And if I fix that, I'm going to have to fix this and this. And if I fix this and this, I'm going to have to fix that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And it's just going to be a huge mess. It's so much easier while you're writing for your critique partner to say, hey, this doesn't work. And you just stop and say, oh yeah, you're right. Don't even write that in there. And you don't have any problems to fix. It's critique partners help with, like, preventing a lot of fixing things and patching things up. So that's still a form of editing, noticing things and just getting rid of it before it becomes a problem. So that is why a critique partner works best while you're still writing or drafting, all those reasons. And one more thing about critique partners, remember that a critique partner is like a friendship with structure. Neither of you need to be experts on writing. You just need to be able to read and tell someone what you notice about what you have read and tell them how you think it could be better. It's not professional, not paid. You just have to be able to read and be a friend to someone. That's it. So get yourself a critique partner. It doesn't have to be the same person for every project, but if it is, it helps because you kind of build up your relationship and it's easier to talk to people. But get yourself a critique partner to help out, especially if you're having trouble while writing, because while writing is a really good time to have that critique partner. Find somebody at your level and get your critique partner so you can edit your book as you go along. So that's all for this video in the series about editing your book. So that is the editing tip for this week. Please like this video, please leave a comment, please share this video with others. Please check out that video of my editing services and the 4 types of editing in the description below. And remember, this video is part of a series, so please watch the series so you can make your book the best that it can be. If you want to know more about Anna Thalian or HAPruitt, please follow me on Instagram at HAPruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, HAPruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, HAPruitt Anna Thalian. You can find me on the Facebook page, HAPruitt Anna Thalian. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name HAPruitt and the book Anna Thalian, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anna Thalian is. The website is HAPruitt.com.